I am Uncle Mark, just gonna try and replace my power converter on my RV. Problem was, you'd have to unplug this, plug it back in, and kind of jolt it a few times. Otherwise, the fridge would just be running on the battery and it would run it down. The charger wouldn't be, or the converter wouldn't be charging the battery. First thing I need to do is cut the power to the trailer so that nothing is running. If you're doing this, do the same thing. Either just leave it on the ground or maybe put it back where it belongs. If you don't have one of these on your house or wherever you plug your trailer in at home, really sweet little thing to have. In my case, that's set up for 30 amps, so if you had a bigger trailer, you could have a 50 amp one there. Next, I'm gonna unhook the battery. So we want no power going to the converter at all. So the white is negative and the black is positive. Skippable chapters included. There, so we should have no power at all, either coming or going from anything. We go inside the trailer, we'll go right to the converter. We'll take this cover off. Oh, I've got a fan running in here. How am I powering it? I ran an extension cord just through the slide, through the rubbers are for the weather stripping. That way I've got a fan, because it's kind of warm in here. Plus, I need a little bit of light, so I can run that as well. But this way I'm not gonna get shocked, because this is totally, that extension cord is totally isolated from the trailer. So I want to make sure I don't drop anything into that grate that's below. How is this held on? There was that top screw that was holding on the top there. We took it, take it out. Then the bottom's got some little fingers here that hold it secure. So get rid of this. We'll show you how it goes back on later on. It's pretty easy if you have this model. Now, we can see why I want to unplug everything. This bottom piece is actually the converter. This one's held in with a couple screws. These look like Phillips. So I'm take the two out. Hopefully this will come out. It will. There's a couple wires that are really kind of heavy duty on the right, the big red and white one. Here's some smaller ones. These are running 110 volts, 120 volts to the unit. We'll take this one off first, I guess. So we'll take this Moret off.
That's easy enough.
And we see there's 3 wires held together. 2 of them are kind of soldered or crimped together. Those have to come out. One actually goes to the breaker and the other one goes to this board we're changing. And the last one there, the thin one with the copper, top right there, is our power in from your outside plug when you have it plugged in, I believe. Okay, this white neutral goes up. The thin one. So we'll loosen that and pull it out. Okay, that was easy. Then we have the green one, which is your ground. Again, loosen that up. Pull it out, and we're getting pretty close to having this whole unit out of here. This is the easy part, because then there's some snags we're going to run into that you'll want to see. Okay, so we mentioned, this last one here, this black one that's going into the breaker, is part of that 3 black wire kind of deal. I should have pulled that wire off the breaker, but at the time here I didn't realize that. We'll go to the board here on the right now. There's a white that goes around the back, and then there's a red positive that goes around the back as well. That looks like a strange one, so we'll take this one off first. On the old unit it's white and it says it's negative. On the new unit it's black. Then our positive here for 12 volts, it's got this screw with this eyelet kind of thing that goes from pretty small eyelet to whatever this is, 8 gauge or something. Trying to think how we're going to duplicate that. Put that back on there properly and securely. We'll pull it out for now. Can't really reuse it, so we'll figure something out. And I think our unit is completely out. I don't know how we're going to put that on there. It has to somehow screw into the board there.
Whatever.
So let's take a look at these 3 here. This is the one I said is going to have to come off, because you have these 2 kind of tees off, so one will go into there, and then the other one will hook up to this black that is still sitting there with the copper showing. Before we do that, I found some 8 gauge. It's a really big eyelet, but it was 8 gauge. So I figured, well, it should work in there, and it almost fits. Now this wire is got a little bit of solder on it, so I thought, well, let's just make it a little narrower. I'll use my bench grinder, see if I can get it to fit in there. It's a little better that time. Just gonna grind it down just a little bit more. I got it to fit, it looks like. Good, we'll just have to squeeze it somehow. Trying to think, how am I gonna squeeze that? It's pretty thick stuff, so I thought, you know, I'm just gonna put it in the vise. Give it a good squash. Yeah, it seems like that's gonna work pretty good. It's nice and tight on there. Now, this eyelet's way too big, so I think I'm going to drill a hole into it. That's about the size of the screw. And run the screw through it, and then we'll just chop the rest of the pieces off. In the screw hole. That worked out okay. And then I'm just gonna cut the rest of this off. Just gonna use some wire cutters. Probably not good for my wire cutters, but they were cheap anyway. And it's gonna work. There you go. A little bit sharp in the edges, so I'm gonna use a bench grinder again and just kind of get the sharp edges off. Just so it looks a little better. Guess I could have just kept it the way it was. As long as it doesn't stick out too much when we get it on that board, because there's other circuits, other resistors or whatever that are going to be right beside it and don't want them shorting out. So this should work. So, I'm going to take a closer look at it here. So we got these two black and the red. They're going to go up in here. Up and around this board. Same with the black. Remember, the old one on mine was white. It's very confusing. But we know the black is a negative. So it's going to go in the negative block here on the board. Trying to get it to go around and bend. Stuff's actually stiff enough that it's making it just a little bit hard to work with in such a confined spot. We'll put it in there, tighten her up. Make her nice and snug. That was easy. Now this one, hopefully, I'm gonna have to try and bend this wire a couple different ways to get it to contort or whatever. Contortions. Put the screw and the nut back on. Screw went through one side, the nut went on the other. This one was a 9/32, the nut that was on it, so I'm gonna use that to hold it. The other side, I'm gonna use the screw. Try not to make it too tight, don't want to break the circuit board. That's what it looks like, and it's not touching any other circuits, so we should be okay. Now if I can put this little board back in, get these wires to relieve some tension, some pressure. And I think this just kind of clicked in with a couple fingers somewhere. Problem is, I can't seem to click it back in. I tried all sorts of different things. See, there's some kind of a piece there, so I thought, oh, I'll just put a tie strap through the hole and it'll, rub against the board there and it won't be able to move. So I tried this way first, and it's like, I don't think it sticks out enough. I'm thinking maybe that board might just pop up over it. So I went to plan B. I'm just gonna sit it through like this and let it fall in there and just cut the bottom. It's not gonna fall out. And the board's against it, so. Put this black back in where it was before. Took it out just to move the board. Just make sure these are all nice and tight. And this one here, this black I'm tightening now. That was the original one that is the new one. So if I can somehow bend these, this was not that easy to do. And I don't want to break it on the circuit board because it goes down onto the circuit board. Goodness. You saw the way it is on there, I don't know. Yes, it won't break, but so I was trying to fit this back in here properly, and of course our screws have to line up. They actually go into some threaded metal pieces. I had to take this in and out a few times, move it this way, move it that way. Get those big wires to flex a little bit. Once I did that, I'll speed it up a little bit here. You'll see I had it in and out on how many times. So finally, I got it to sit properly. It doesn't look like it would be hard. There we go. Got the screws in. That's easy enough. Let's hook up our wires. If this video has been helpful to you and you like the content, could you do me a favor and give me the thumbs up? That way others will know that the video is worth watching. Usually I'm working on vehicles, cars, and trucks. I'm not good at the camper kind of thing or electronics like this. But that said, though, there is a playlist on RV trailers, campers, that kind of thing. Top right-hand corner, flashing yellow arrow will point you to a card that you can click on, and it'll bring you to more of these kind of videos on the camper. Or just check the channel out. Lots of cars and truck repair videos there to be seen. So those 3 black wires, as we mentioned. Here's the pigtail that was part of it. It's going to go into the breaker. Tighten that up. Then there's that other, the hot wire that comes from outside. We'll put them together with these other 2. And then once we do that, we'll put that moret on it, tighten it up nice and it doesn't come apart. Put the breaker back in, make sure it's locked in there properly. What do we have left? We still have this neutral. Stick to where it belongs, where we got the last one from. Tighten that baby up. Now all we have is this, the ground wire, which in this case is a green. Tighten that up. We'll set this out of the way. I think it looks like we're done, doesn't it? I have to do some checks. I'm going to go outside. We'll hook the battery up first. See, it sparked a little bit the first couple times I put it on. So far, nothing wrong. Sounds good. So I'm going to quickly run back inside, try some 12-volt stuff. So how about the 12-volt lighting? That comes on good. Go back to it, to the battery. We'll just see how many volts we're at right now before we plug the trailer in, make sure it's charging. So I got a 12.8 volts. Plug the trailer back in, and then it should start charging it. We had 12.8. What do you have now? 13.96. Okay, good. So we know it's charging. Run back inside and make sure that everything else is working. No smoke coming out of this. That's good. Everything seems fine. All the breakers are on. Got 120 volts there going to the microwave. I'm just going to flip the air on. Make sure if the air cease comes on, we're good. Yes. It's going to be so nice not to have these problems before. My 110 or 120 volt lights are working, and so is everything else. Put this cover back on. Remember there are little clips on the bottom. It hooks from the bottom first, so in my case anyway. Clip it and pull it up. Put the screw back in that holds the top. I have to move this around a little bit just to make the breakers fit. That's probably like any kind of a breaker panel. Get the screw back in. And we're almost done. Leave your concerns, comments, questions in the comment section there. Oh, we don't want to forget to put your battery box back together, as the battery might give some gases off. This one's got, of course, a vent for any gases to go out so they don't go back into the trailer. This one, I don't think originally it had these wing nuts. I put them in myself. It's a little easier than having to grab tools every time you need to get in there. And we are done. Thanks for watching. See you again.